El Chupacabra, the blood-sucking beast. Origins and real-life encounters. Hey everyone, welcome back to another spine-tingling exploration of Mexican folklore. Today we're talking about one of the most infamous creatures to ever haunt the nightmares of people across Latin America, the Chupacabra. Known as the blood-sucking beast, this mysterious creature has become a global legend, but it has its roots deep in Mexican and Latin American folklore. From livestock killings to bizarre sightings in rural areas, the Chupacabra has terrified communities for decades. Whether you believe it's a real creature or just another urban legend, the stories surrounding it are undeniably fascinating. Let's take a deep dive into the origins of the Chupacabra, explore real-life encounters, and try to uncover the mystery behind this elusive and terrifying creature. The origins of El Chupacabra. The legend of the Chupacabra is relatively modern compared to many other urban legends in Mexican folklore. Unlike the La Llorona or the Nahuales, which have centuries-old roots, the Chupacabra first appeared in Puerto Rico in the mid-1990s and quickly spread across Latin America. Its name, which means goat sucker in Spanish, was coined after reports of mysterious deaths of livestock, specifically goats, who were drained of their blood. The animals appeared to have been attacked in a brutal and unusual way, with small puncture wounds near their necks. Reports of the creature's attacks spread like wildfire, and it wasn't long before people began to describe the creature itself. Witnesses have given varied descriptions, but it's typically described as reptilian or alien in appearance, with spines running down its back and glowing red eyes. Some people say it looks like a wild dog, but with strange features, such as leathery skin, sharp teeth, and an almost vampiric thirst for blood. Interestingly, the Chupacabra didn't just exist in folklore. There were reports of actual attacks that fueled the myth. The first widely documented cases were in 1995, when a string of attacks on animals in Puerto Rico led to widespread fear. Since then, the Chupacabra has become one of the most famous creatures in Latin American urban legends, with its reputation growing across borders into places like Mexico, Chile, and even parts of the United States. Descriptions of El Chupacabra. Fact versus fiction. Though El Chupacabra has gained its reputation as a blood-sucking monster, the physical description of the creature varies wildly. There are multiple accounts, but they generally fall into two categories. 1. The reptilian, alien version. This version of the Chupacabra describes a creature with a reptilian or alien-like appearance. It's typically depicted as being around 3 to 4 feet tall with scaly, grayish skin. The creature's eyes are often described as glowing red, and it's said to have sharp claws and teeth. The creature's back is sometimes depicted as having spines or quills running down it, resembling a porcupine or some sort of prehistoric animal. Its long, snake-like tongue is said to reach out and suck the blood from animals, especially goats and poultry. 2. The canine version. The other major version of the Chupacabra is that of a mangy, hairless, dog-like creature, often resembling a coyote, but with features that seem out of place. These versions describe a creature with glowing eyes, a gaunt body, and large teeth. It's often portrayed as being more like a wild dog, but with the distinctive difference of having very few or no hairs on its body, contributing to its eerie appearance. In both versions, the creature is associated with blood-sucking behavior, often targeting livestock or pets. The wounds left on its victims typically show signs of blood loss, with puncture marks or slit throats. These descriptions are what have fueled the Chupacabra myth, as many rural residents began to report mysterious deaths of their animals, often with no other explanation for the injuries. Real-life encounters and attacks. Despite being a relatively new addition to folklore, there have been numerous reports of Chupacabra attacks in various countries. These attacks typically involve the mysterious deaths of livestock, particularly goats, chickens, and other small farm animals. The victims are often drained of blood, leaving behind small puncture wounds or sometimes no marks at all. Let's explore some of the most famous Chupacabra encounters. 1. Puerto Rico, 1995. The first reported Chupacabra sightings occurred in 1995 in Puerto Rico, where locals began reporting attacks on farm animals. Farmers found their goats and chickens drained of blood, with strange puncture wounds in their necks. These mysterious deaths caused a widespread panic in the area. At first, the attacks were blamed on wild dogs or even vampires, but as the descriptions of the creature emerged, reptilian, alien-like, with spines along its back, it became clear that a new creature was being described. The media quickly picked up on the stories, and the Chupacabra phenomenon exploded, with reports of similar attacks emerging from surrounding countries. 2. Mexico, 1996 to present. Just a year after Puerto Rico, Mexico began experiencing Chupacabra attacks. In 1996, reports surfaced from the town of Cananea in Sonora, Mexico. Livestock and poultry were found dead, drained of their blood, with puncture wounds near their necks. Over the years, these attacks have continued to surface across various Mexican states, particularly in rural areas where people keep livestock. The fear of El Chupacabra has persisted, with many locals in rural areas taking precautions to protect their animals from the creature. Some regions of Mexico claim to have seen the Chupacabra itself, with eyewitness accounts describing sightings of strange, hairless creatures roaming the night, leaving behind a trail of dead animals. 3. The United States, 2000s present. While the Chupacabra was initially a creature rooted in Latin American folklore, reports of it began to surface in the United States in the 2000s. Several incidents, primarily in the southern states like Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico, claimed that the Chupacabra was responsible for livestock killings. Many of the attacks were blamed on coyotes with mange, skin parasites that cause hair loss and deformities, but some individuals continued to insist that the Chupacabra was a different kind of creature entirely. One of the most famous cases was reported in 2007 when several dead goats were found in a Texas ranch. The creatures were believed to have been drained of blood, but no clear cause of death was identified. This, combined with previous Chupacabra sightings, led many to continue their search for the creature. Explanations for El Chupacabra: myth versus reality. While the Chupacabra has been the subject of many investigations, there are several theories and explanations as to what it could actually be. Most of these theories have natural explanations, while others lean into the supernatural. 1. Wild dogs and coyotes. Many believe that the Chupacabra attacks can be explained by the presence of wild dogs, coyotes, or even domestic dogs infected with mange. Mange causes hair loss and extreme itching, leaving these animals with a gaunt, hairless appearance that resembles some descriptions of the Chupacabra. These animals might be responsible for killing livestock and draining their blood, with the puncture wounds resulting from bites or scratches. 2. Vampirism and folklore. Some theorists believe the Chupacabra is an ancient mythological creature, similar to vampires, that has existed in various cultures but was only recently discovered in modern times. This explanation ties into the idea that the Chupacabra is not just an animal, but a supernatural creature, an undead being who survives by drinking the blood of animals. 3. Alien or extraterrestrial theory. A more bizarre explanation is that the Chupacabra is an extraterrestrial being, possibly connected to UFO sightings and reports of alien encounters. That's it for today's dive into the legend of El Chupacabra. Do you have any Chupacabra stories of your own, or maybe a theory about what it really is? Let us know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you find strange marks on your animals or hear rumors of a blood-sucking creature in the night, be cautious. It might just be the Chupacabra. Stay safe and keep your eyes open.